If anybody knows me, they know that in a way I'm cheap. I don't like to spend money unless I need to, but I like to have a lot of tools. I had bought the cheapest 2-line laser I could back years ago, and once I used it for a little bit, I realized these things are fantastic. So I did a bunch of research back in 2001, and when I was purchasing my first 360 laser, I had bought a Huepar. So they just sent me apparently one of their new ones. So I'm already very familiar with this brand of laser. So this is very similar to the one that I had. It does have a few features that are upgraded from the previous version that I had, which you would kind of hope for it in 3 years. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at what you get in the package here. So first we've got our laser module. Now, almost all of these lasers are very accurate as far as giving you a level line. Where your differential is going to be is how crisp the line is, how bright the line is, and then all the extra features and functions. So I'm going to kind of go through the different features and functions and show you really what this thing has. So one thing that you're going to see is you get a a charging brick and a USB-C wire. So that is the standard. Everything is USB-C except for iPhones now. So as you see, there is a USB-C port here on the side of the machine. That means that if you forget to turn this off, now the battery lasts like 12 hours on this thing, so it'll last you all day long. But if you do forget to turn it off overnight, you can run this with a cord. If you don't want to run a cord, they've included an adapter with some AA batteries, and so you can run this on AA batteries. When you do get finished at the night, if you want, you can just take the battery out and you can plug in the battery and charge the battery outside of the machine. Or if you want, you can leave it in the machine and then plug it in and the battery will charge while it's inside the machine. Whichever way you like. Me, I would probably purchase an extra battery if I was using this professionally as a homeowner. This thing will probably stay charged for months and months and months. It's a lithium-ion battery, so they don't lose charge very rapidly. And if you're not using this constantly, this thing is probably going to last you for a long time. The housing itself has this rubber overmold, which is very non-slip resistance. And I looked it up because it looks so well made. This does have an IP54 rating, which means that it's protected against water spray and dust. So it doesn't mean it's going to be waterproof if you drop it in your swimming pool. But if you're on a job site and it starts raining and you need to go grab this and throw it in the box before you get a chance and it gets a little bit of rain on it, it's not going to hurt it. Like even here on the battery case, there's a rubber gasket that kind of makes this water tight. So the battery compartment is definitely watertight on it. Now you got the glass and all that, so you're not going to want to get water on it. So what else we have? So we have our little mountain bracket. Now this little mountain bracket is a great little mountain bracket. I've already kind of checked it out. So this will screw onto the bottom of the machine here. You got to bring it out before you can screw it on. And then once this is attached here, you can make very fine adjustments with the machine. So we're going to move the box out of the way here so you can kind of see what we got here. So if we want to move this forward or back, we've got a rotation here. We can move it side to side with this knob here. And then there's a knob right here that rotates it. If we need to come up and down, we've got a knob back here that will go up and down. So we got function of being able to move this in every direction. Now you have a little tab here. You can screw a screw in and hang this. These are magnets. If you've got something metal, a metal door or metal studs in a construction site, this will hang on any kind of metal, and those are very strong. You also have your 1/4 inch and I think it's 7/16, which are your standard sizes for your tripod. These are your big tripods and your little tripods. You can even use a regular camera tripod. I did with mine when I first started using it, and that will also work terrific. So you do have this nice little stand here, and that will get you those fine-tuned adjustments if you need them. Also in the box here, there's a little metal plate. So if you want, you can hang that and you can stick this on there. And as you can see, those are some very strong magnets. It also has this little stand here, which gives you if you don't want to use your big stand, you just want something, to give you a little bit of adjustment. And this goes straight up and down, and then you can actually turn this by hand or slide it over if you need it to. So that all works great. And then if you're a long distance away, you can set up this little tripod here. This will actually show up the laser a lot easier. So at long distance, sometimes all lasers can be difficult to see, or if you're in bright light, they can be difficult to see. So I think there's one more important thing in the box here, and that is our remote control. Now, I've checked it out. This works with the Huepar app on your phone, and it also works with the remote. So it depends on which one you prefer. You can throw this in your tool pouch, and I kind of like having the little remote so I can just pull it out and I don't have to pull my phone out. When you're storing this slide is forward and it locks the pendulum. So you slide that back, that's going to unlock your pendulum, and then it will self-level. So once it's turned on, the thing is going to be level. Something that I find really nice on this particular one is it's got I don't know if you want to call it a gyroscope, but it tells you your X and your Y, which is going to be, the tilt of the machine. So as you tilt it, you see it goes up and down, if you go side to side. But no matter what, this line is going to be level. Now, if you tilt it too far, which you hear it, giving you an audible beep, and then you see the line is flashing. That's telling you that you've exceeded the maximum amount of tilt that it can compensate for. That way you don't accidentally have your line out of level and don't realize it. Now, what if you're doing and you are a slab and you want it on a 1/4 inch, a foot, which would be like a 2% grade? Well, you can come over there and you can lock the pendulum. So now the pendulum's locked level with the machine. Press and hold the button. So now it's going to come on, and the laser beam is going to be locked in here. But you see it about every 5 seconds, it'll flash, and it's going to flash like that just to remind you that this is no longer in a free mode. It's in a locked position. And then you could actually, see on your display right here, you can rotate that and get your 2°. And so 2 degrees would be your slope for a slab. And that way you can go ahead and set your forms on your 2° slope or whatever slope you want. That's another great feature. That this is the first one I've seen that has this display, and that is a super nice feature. Now, we've got this little Bluetooth remote. So you press and hold it, and then as you see, we've got our top, and then we've got the bottom laser. I can turn it on and off. If we don't want our side-to-side lasers, we can turn on whichever laser we want individually with our remote, and that way we're not shining it down the hallway. If you're in a business, you want to keep your, laser beam where you're working at. So that is a great feature. You can hit the power button and it actually turns off all the lasers, but it's still, the machine is on, so you can hit the power button and the lasers will come back on. So these lasers will show up 100, 200 feet away. It's going to depend on how bright the area is, but I don't care how much the laser is. If you're outside in a bright sun, especially down here in Florida, you're not going to be able to see it. Now you can get this little, thing over here and go around, and this, it will show up on a lot easier than, a painted surface or something, but still in bright sunlight, you're not going to be able to see that. That's where this little pulse mode comes in. And so you hold that down, and then you see it comes up with the little PV, and then you have one of these little modules, which are sold separately. This is the one that I've had from years ago. And then as you see, it'll start beeping whenever it's lined up. So it tells you which way you need to go. Okay. All right, that's enough beep. But as you can see, it will tell you which way you need to move up or down. So let's go out and see just how well this thing works. Right over there is my tripod all the way on the other side. So we are a pretty good ways away. And then, we're outside, so it makes it difficult to see. So see right there. So boom, right there is perfectly level. So we could put our mark right here. And then if we wanted to, we could go down to the other side. And this is, if you're out here working on something, this is what you're going to end up doing. So I don't know, let's see where. Okay, so right there would be the level line on this side. And again, I've got this set way up over on that side of the yard. So the laser itself is right here. And so we are coming all the way over to here, but it's shooting out the beam all the way over to there. So I could be all the way on my neighbor's property line on this side of their house to all the way on this side over here, and I can get a straight line. So basically, it'll come out about 100 foot is what I find from where you had this set up, but it goes 100 foot in each direction. Okay, so I kind of hate showing you how messy the back of my shop is, but you can see right there, that is where the laser set up right there by the front door. So it is 44 foot to the back of my shop here. And you can see right underneath the boards there on that back wall, there's that green line going all the way across. So you can definitely see the line at 44 foot with your bare eye inside. So if you're wanting to get the most bang for your buck, no matter what laser you get, you want to get one that has this horizontal line at the bottom. And the reason why, because many of these now only have the one at the top. And you see how high up this is. So like if you're wanting to put some baseboard down and want to make sure that baseboard is running straight and level, you're not going to be able to do that with just a 3 laser. So that is the one thing on all the lasers, because I have several of the 3 that go ahead, get that 4th one, because you just never know when you're going to want to be getting a line down close to the floor. This could be if you're laying tile, you can actually get this down low to make sure that those tiles are laying nice and flat. So that is one of the features that differentiates about 70% of these lasers. So as I've showed you, this laser has many, many great functions, and I have not found anything as far as the functionality that this did not do perfectly. It was able to give me a straight line at 200 foot from one side to the other with the sensor. It's able to, see with my bare eye as far as I've got here in my shop, 44 foot, probably 50, 70 foot. I don't think would be a problem because I have extremely bright lights in my shop because I love lots of light. So let's talk about the things that I don't like. So There's only a couple of things that I do not like, but one is even though you've got this big old box, there is not a place to put your transmitter. This is the same complaint I had with my other Huepar, is they do not have a room. You know, they've kind of made this so that everything fits perfectly, but I would have liked to have had a spot, you know, even, you know, cut, but in here, if you didn't have this, that you could have like had these moved over just a little bit to where there could have been a space in here to where you could carry this with your machine. So my other complaint is by the app, we can turn on and turn off the different lasers, and it's really nice that it shows you up here. However, I have not found where I can dim the laser like I could on my old one, even though on the remote it has like a dim button, but it does not work. So this is a sponsored video. Huepar did send me this laser, and I will put an affiliate link down in the description. However, when I was researching and spending my own money, this was the brand that I found. The laser that I actually picked that at the time I felt was the best overall value, has less features, is not as refined, and costs $50 more than this particular laser. That's why when they offered it to me, I said, yeah, go ahead and send it out so I could see just what the difference is. And if I had to do it over again and purchase a laser with my money, I would have no problem purchasing this laser. So if you found this useful, a thumbs up, likes, all that kind of good stuff is always appreciated. It helps out a small channel. I'm actually starting to not be so small anymore, and I'm always trying to bring information that I think you would like. So if there's something in particular you would like to see, let me know and I'll see if I can find it. And if you like it, I'm sure somebody else is going to like it. So let's get those videos out there of what people want to see. So until next time, I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon.